I've won and lost against the best. This old road's been a hell of a test. I'm still driving, I ain't slowing down. There's rules I'd love to break and bend, mistakes I've made again and again. But I tell you this, my friends, I'm still around. I hit it hard, man, so far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man, till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, live at large. I hit it hard.
Hello everyone, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to Average Goats, Season 1, Episode 2. My name is Pappy. I'm here with the Hanger Brothers. How are we doing today? Michael, Joel?
Great. Weather's getting nice. Golf season's upon us.
Weather's getting nice. So last week when I drove over to do the show, it was 42 degrees. Today it's 70. So, yep, weather's getting nice is an understatement. Superintendents are running out of excuses for no more carts. There is no more thawing of the ground, and it's getting dry out there. Joel, you said you were walking out at the club the other day, and it was, what'd you say, crispy?
It's getting crispy.
Yep, it definitely is.
Grass was crispy.
Improvement on our irrigation. It's that good nowadays.
Yeah.
Gone in no time.
Water just runs away.
Yeah, the toilet of the town where all the raw water runoff goes to is dry, so we're setting ourselves up for something. But getting on track here, guys, right out of the box, let's be as cheesy as we can. Let's tee it up and let the big dog eat. The Arnold Palmer Invitational was this past week. It was very entertaining. I thought it was a great show, and I just wanted to get your guys' initial thoughts of the tournament as a whole.
I thought it was a great tournament. Once again, coming out the gates on Thursday, Rory shoots a low score in the 60s, and you're thinking he's going to have a great week and get it turned around. And the rest of the week was kind of abysmal for him, especially Sunday. But Bryson, of course, turned in another good tournament with a win, and
Yeah, I thought it was an exciting event. Not that I really wanted to see Bryson win. I'm not the biggest Bryson fan. He hits the ball a mile, which is awesome and cool, but just personality-wise and all this time he takes to hit golf balls drives me nuts. But, Ricky Fowler made a cut and then didn't play so hot on the weekend. Not that I was expecting him to win by any means, but his game seemed to get worse as the rounds went on. My pick, Victor, kind of let me down on the weekend as well. He was
Sunday was bad.
He was kind of right in there, and then Sunday, I'm not sure what happened. He must have spent a little extra time with that pen we were talking about last week, or what, because it was just no bueno. So that sucked, because now I'm probably third on the money list for our running totals.
You're not
probably.
You're not
you
now.
Oh,
you already were last.
3 out of 3.
You're
That's
not out
not
of the
bad.
cellar.
That's not. We got a long ways to go though. So
I'll keep my word though. When we get to that portion for this week's tournament, we'll let you pick first. So there's no, you took my guy.
Yeah, but it was interesting this week because we did have Patrick Reed, who was digging behind his golf ball.
Oh my gosh.
Pulling roots or what he's trying to find or get a little bit clearance to the golf ball. That was kind of interesting. And then I kind of noticed or thought I think it was Saturday when Bryson had a ball up against like a temporary fence that was kind of like soft, I would guess. It moved out of the way a little bit. And he was up close to it, so it was in his backswing a little bit. And he had to make a real inside swing there. But he got behind his ball and kind of pressed and leaned against the fence. And I thought that was kind of interesting.
Was it like a snow fence?
Yeah,
or
like a
netting?
snow fence. I thought it was interesting because it's like, it almost seemed like he's trying to like get it to move a little bit before he gets ready to take that backswing. So I didn't see that on Twitter, but I just noticed it. So thought that was interesting.
I'll tell you, the whole Patrick Reed thing has just got me pulling my hair out because
You saw the same video?
It's brutal. And I get it, they're zooming in on it, and he is under the microscope. So when you're under the microscope that much, aren't you like more aware of it, and where you're almost overly cautious not to do anything like that? You'd rather just play it out of almost of an embedded ball.
Anything. You wouldn't even want to ask for a ruling.
I'm tired of being this guy. I'm tired of being beat up, and you would just move out. But he was in there digging, and I don't know. There were some people on social media saying that's just the ground moving, that's not the ball moving. I don't know. It just didn't look good. And if you're a Patrick Reed fan, when does it become time where you just cut cord and you just don't want to be a Patrick Reed apologist anymore? I think we're at that line now. You gotta decide what you're gonna do here.
Yeah. Do you think Patrick Reed himself actually cares, though? I don't know that the guy gives a shit, really.
Maybe not, because he doesn't care about talking to his parents. Or the
Yeah,
rest of
he's
his
already
family.
he's
He
already the
deserves
heel
them.
of the tour. He's the heel of the tour, and he doesn't talk to his parents. You know, he can't even like.
Had his parents and sister kicked out of the Masters.
Yeah, then his
Like,
parents
what
live.
is wrong with you? I don't care how bad it is, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got family trouble. They're trying to watch you win your major at the Masters, and you have them kicked out.
But the funnier thing is he actually ends up, after something like this happens, he actually ends up playing better for some reason. I mean, it happens every time.
Well, yeah, he plays better. He can get the club on the back of the golf ball
Get-
now.
get-
You know,
get
but
approved lies.
but at the Masters, his parents live a stone's throw away from Augusta to begin with, and yeah, had him kicked out. Doesn't associate
Well,
with
when
him.
he
so
left
it's wild.
college because they called him a cheater and they rode him hard, he transfers to Augusta
His
State.
own teammates, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he stealing putters or something? Or
Watches,
stealing? Yeah,
watches and stuff.
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Watch the language,
Yeah,
boys.
we got to get that allegedly. Got to get that allegedly out there.
No, I want to like the guy. That's the sad part because I like him. He's fiery. He's not afraid of speaking his mind either.
It's a big old snap draw.
What's
the whole
great though is
story-
he's good. He he's got a great golf swing. He's good.
Correct. So why do that? You know,
I don't know.
we can go into a different topic. You know, was Barry
Yeah.
Bonds a Hall of Famer without steroids? Did he take steroids? You know, you
I'm
can
a
go down
Bond
that
guy.
one.
I am too.
James Bond. But the whole Patrick Reed, and then when he explains himself, I wear red and black every Sunday in honor of Tiger. He was doing this before, you know, obviously before Tiger was hurt. He does stuff, and then the whole thing with him and Rory at the Ryder Cup, how'd you not like that? He Dikembe Mutombo's on, waves his finger, and then he just does this other crap time and time and time again. You're just like, your parents probably don't even miss you half the days.
Yeah.
Because you are just a
Yeah.
piece of work. Unbelievable. Other miscuts were, I kind of brought up Stenson. He usually plays good at the Palmer. He missed the cut.
I know, he was
And,
like one of my dark horses.
The guy that really made me take a double look at the scoreboard was Billy Horschel. He was in the hunt the week before, and then boom, miscut.
Yeah,
Big numbers.
yeah. That's and Billy always tries to play well for those Florida events, like we were talking the last couple weeks too. So that was interesting to see that he fell off like that.
Yeah, and we got Cam Champ. He misses another cut. Wasn't that long ago where he was the new young guy, right? He was going to be doing what a Colin Morikawa is doing, and he's been kind of lacking ever since pretty much his fast start. And then we were talking before we started rolling the tape, Graham McDowell. Graham McDowell, where you been? He misses the cut again. I'm a big Graham McDowell fan.
He's won the Arnold Palmer a couple times, hasn't he, or once?
Um,
Or almost won? Or?
I think so. I know he was like the host. He
Yeah.
was the host for a little bit there when they're getting Sam Saunders ready for that. And but yeah, he's got the game. You don't win a U.S. Open at Pebble Beach by mistake. You're not a one-hit wonder, right? You're not.
He came back, was it last year in 2019, and had a pretty okay year. Thought he was back, and then kind of fell back into the cracks again.
You don't think it's the Strixon clubs, do you? I got a set of those irons, and
They're doing well for Brooks.
that is true. He did put those in
Minus his WD for this week.
there. Yeah, with his neck, knee, and
Hey, what?
it's his knee now.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was
Ankle
gonna-
or knee?
Yeah, who knows? Hopefully we hear more about that this week. They get that checked out because I was really high on Brooks coming into that tournament. I really thought we were getting ready for the majors and all the big events this year, and Brooks Koepka would be fun to watch. And
Wow.
what if he snuck into the Olympics and did something that would be cool to watch? Brooks Koepka get a gold medal with the American flag behind him.
Yeah.
But coming back to the Arnold Palmer, we all were kind of going back and forth on texting this weekend watching it. The Bryson DeChambeau show, as some would
Yes.
call it.
The long ball.
The Bryson DeChambeau.
So
That's all they talked
Bleep,
about was
bleep,
Bryson.
bleep.
Bryson.
Yeah.
Bryson.
he basically he hits it far, but what was more telling on all those drives that he hit 370 or 360 or whatever that was that almost on all those drives he didn't even hit the green in regulation or under regulation. So all those both those par fives he missed in regulation, and then he had a par four that he drove it to like 30 yards or 40 yards short, and he couldn't even hit the green from there. So I mean,
Yeah, well, the par five on Sunday where they end up having a chipping contest after Bryson was like 200 yards ahead of Westwood.
Right on number 6. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
like,
was insane.
come on.
That was
Both
insane
made
when he
par.
hit that shot out of the. I thought they both.
No, they both
birdied.
they both birdied.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he hit
Westwood
that shot
birdied
out of
for
the
the
bunker,
fringe.
and it was just right on that ridge, left to right, and he ends up going to the collection area, and he's over by Westwood. And
Yeah.
Westwood made a much nicer putt.
Did you guys catch? Not to change subjects from Bryson, that's not all the talk, but we don't want to be like everybody else and kind of stroking them, Justin Rose hit that shank on 16. Did you guys see that out of that greenside bunker?
Yes, I did.
And,
I absolutely love seeing the pros hit shanks. I absolutely love it.
And he smoked that pickup truck.
I
Did you
heard it hit.
cut-
Yeah, I didn't see the truck, but I heard that.
Yeah. And then on Sunday, going back to Bryson, I guess on Sunday, kind of going back and forth here. On Sunday, Bryson on hole 11 kind of skanked or scuzzed that iron off that tee on 11, and he almost put it in the water. Came to like maybe a few feet short of it. And then his next shot, he fuzzed out there to like the greenside bunker, and it plugged. Do you remember this?
Mhm.
On 11. And after he hit the bunker shot to like 40 or 50 feet, he says, "This is the worst bunker on the PGA Tour."
Correct.
Yes. And then he drains the 50-footer for par.
Well, they were even saying on the coverage, "Oh, this will be a miracle." So he's gonna at least drop one.
Yeah.
If he runs it by the hole or he's way short of him, he might drop 2. This might be a totally different game. And then, whammy, he rolls in the bomb and he goes right on to victory. Going to the comment you were making about the bunkers, though, watching it all week, there were a lot of plugged balls. They were talking about it on coverage. Oh, he hit it high. That one's going to plug if it's up in this area of the bunker.
Were they newer bunkers, do we know, or were they recently
I would-
resanded bunkers?
I would say they're not newer bunkers, and the reason I would say that is they just didn't look as clean or as pure, the sand. It looked like there was dirt, erosion has contaminated a little bit of the sand, not that big of a deal. But here's the thing, and Joel, you obviously with that last comment, oh, it's a new sand, you want the pure bunkers. They're a hazard. They're there for a reason. They are not supposed to be perfectly kept, and this drives me crazy. I think it's me and Jack Nicklaus, because Jack Nicklaus, the one time at Muirfield, tried to do the furrow rakes.
He did the rakes one year.
And it should be like that.
Yeah.
There should be a penalty. The amount of money and time that is being wasted by maintenance departments to take care of these bunkers is astronomical. And everybody comes out to your course and oh, it's the bunker. Oh, it's the bunker. Don't hit it there. It's
Yeah.
called shot making. And I think that's the bigger thing about Bryson. There's no more shot making. It's beat it, find it, beat it, find it. And we're losing that art of the game, which is, it could be scary if we all start going down that road.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Joel was going to touch on it with that bunker shot too. The commentators were
Paul
talking about.
Azinger and David Faraday. Faraday was on the group commentating, and he basically said they both basically were alluding to that Bryson, with his irons all being 7-iron length, that he has to have his hands up so high on a bunker shot that he can't get underneath it to splash it up higher. So it comes out a little lower.
Yeah. So was it really a bad bunker, or is it just him not being able to hit that or
Yeah.
execute that shot out of a plugged lie?
I'd be curious to. I mean, granted, he made a 50-footer to save, but I'd be curious to see his bunker stats. I haven't looked at those to see how actually consistent he is out of the bunkers.
But overall, I mean, do the bunkers have to be? Do you have to have a perfect lie in the bunker every time?
I don't know. Different
the
for
pure
these
white
kids.
sand and-
Different for them than the average goats, I would say, because that's probably what they're expecting. Because their miss is typically going to be aimed for a bunker, right? Whereas
Mhm.
most amateurs are like, don't let me hit that bunker. Don't let me hit that bunker. Hitting away from it. So that's probably a big difference too. We're not expecting that pristine conditioned bunker, and those guys are aiming for it because they know that they can hit the shot out of it. So
We're trying to figure out if there's any sand actually underneath the ball. You
well,
know?
weather and elements that we
Really?
face different times of the year, these big flooding rains and stuff, it's hard to upkeep them. So I don't blame you with the time frame that you're talking about spending on bunkers. The rest of the golf course is more important.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get into it later about the distance support and changing of the rules and stuff like that. And I don't like you just said it though perfectly. They're aiming for the bunkers. It's when an architect builds a course, he's putting a bunker in there for it to be a penalty. So if the pins, let's just say, green A, the pin's left. Okay, you don't want to miss it left because you would short side yourself. But if I get in that left bunker, I'm going to be able to throw it up and, it's going to come out dead and I'll be able to keep it on home. So you're taking the strategy of it away by putting in these impeccable bunkers, and it
Yeah, and-
drives me nuts because that wasn't the intent back in the day.
Yeah, and you see these commentators talk about it when these guys will get short-sighted even in a bunker, and they're like talking about how impossible the golf shot is. They're not going to be able to hit this. It'd be a miracle if they get inside 10 feet. And they throw this thing up real high and inside of 5 feet. So even short-sighting sometimes is not hurting them unless it's a fried egg in there or something. But
Right. Going back to the Bryson show, I thought who really did well while this was all going on was Lee Westwood. I thought he was very entertaining, him lifting his arms up when he hit his tee shot on 6. But what happened to him, and it's kind of not talked about because Bryson pars it, but Lee Westwood hits one down the middle of the fairway, absolutely beautiful, and he gets into a sand-filled divot. And I'll never forget this. Way back in the day, it happened to Payne Stewart at the U.S. Open, and he brought it up about if they're filling it with sand at night, there should be some sort of local rule where that should be ground under repair.
Yeah.
And I think with all the changes of the rules that have gone on the last couple of years with, we can leave the flag sticks in, or now we're going to let pros use
Should be able
the
to drop out of them.
lasers. You can.
Yeah.
Why we can't do a drop out of a sand-filled divot or a divot?
I think that's been presented every time they've came out
And they don't do it.
and they don't never change it.
They don't do it.
I think it's,
I
think
would
it's-
have to hear some logic on why they don't do it. Either direction, I don't know that I care. With my question, my
Because
thought
you're
process.
rolling it out of there anyways.
No. I'm gonna play it down typically all year long. Just preferred method. You might as well.
Michael's in the
might as well
fairway
do it.
in a
Yeah.
divot, and he goes, "Oh, Bob, your ball's over there." When Bob turns around, he kind of nudges his ball out of the sand-filled divot.
And when Bob's ball's really in my pocket, type of thing.
Whoa.
You heard that story, right?
No.
It's
you heard that
it's
joke?
a joke, yeah.
Okay.
But I guess my question on 18 there would be: was Westwood, even if he's not in a divot, was he going to go with that pin on the right side to try to make a birdie, or was he going to?
Play it out to the left like Tiger did every year and drain a 20, 30 footer.
There was wind into his face there. You could tell with where the ball landed and
Yeah,
how the
but
ball
with the
flight
ball
was.
in that sand-filled divot, it takes those options away.
Right.
Now you can't.
Now
now
you're
you
going.
can't
Now
miss
you're
that.
going for the middle of the
True,
green.
but I'm just wondering if he was going to go at it or if he was, So
Just going back to Bryson's stats on bunker saves, he's 50% for the year, getting up and down from a bunker.
And where does that rank on the PGA Tour?
Last week he was tied for 144th, and this week, as of this week, he was tied for 113th.
So it bumped him up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Quite a bit in 1 week. And just to wrap this up, the tournament is named after Arnold Palmer, obviously. Just any thoughts on Arnold Palmer for you guys? Were you a big fan of him?
He was a little after. I mean, he was a
yeah,
little
young enough
after
to not
us.
have a ton of Arnie experience. I thought it was pretty cool. Jordan Spieth, first time playing in the event, to go, sit in Arnold's office and, have
So-
that whole experience and
Sign
things.
the book and everything.
Yeah.
And he was kind of talking about year that Jordan won the Masters. The next year he hosted the dinner, and that it was the last time that Arnold Palmer went to the dinner for the Masters and Champions Dinner. And he was saying that all the young guys that had won really went around and said something about Mr. Palmer and what they meant to him, and all of them said he's a really influential person on the game, and all the older guys like a Gary Player and Larry Mize and stuff had more interesting and in-depth stories about Arnold Palmer than the younger guys. So
Yeah, it'd be just like what you just asked me. I mean, influential in the game. That's Tiger Woods is my guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
Tiger
sure.
was influential. So somebody that's older, Arnie probably is that stature. But
So I'm probably out by myself here. It's going to sound me. I just think Arnold Palmer's a little overrated. I really do. Not even trying to do
and
a
we
hot take
already
here.
know how you feel about the drink.
I know.
not a fan.
Garbage.
I love Arnold Palmers. They're
Garbage.
delicious.
Garbage. Oh,
Put a
I put
little-
iced tea and lemonade together. I'm going to name it after myself. Who does that? I put ketchup and mustard on my burger. I'm going to call it the Pappy. What is that? I'm going to start taking ketchup and mustard, put it in a bottle, and calling it Pappy. Look at me. I'm the next Arnold Palmer.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that, that if you really dive into the Arnold Palmer stuff, it really makes me grind my gears.
Yeah.
And Gary Player outplayed him. He's got more majors. The guy was traveling across the world doing this. Arnold Palmer's doing a MasterCard commercial. Arnold Palmer's doing a Pennzoil oil commercial. I think Arnold Palmer was really good at commercials back in the day, and that's why that's how he elevated the game, which is fine.
Popularity, I'd say.
But the whole Arnold Palmer mystique, I'm sorry. Now,
There-
I get it. He's one of the greats, and I give respect to that because I do like the game. But To me, it's just overblown on Arnold Palmer a little bit too much.
There is one thing that
How
he.
fierce of a guy can he be? His logo's an umbrella.
Yeah, there's one thing that he
So much
did
for that.
with his letter writing.
There goes that sponsor.
The letter writing, I think, was impressive. That he would handwrite letters to so many people. Bryson talked about it again. Not that I'm a big Bryson fan, but to think that Arnold Palmer did that a week before he passed to write Bryson a letter. That just
Absolutely,
shows you
very classy move.
classy
Very
classy
move.
guy.
So I'm going to tell you my Arnold Palmer story now.
All right,
And this
let's
is
hear it.
probably where all this anger comes from.
Oh boy, I didn't give him an autograph at a tournament.
Yeah.
How'd you know? But the way it goes down is crazy.
How'd you know?
So the senior U.S. Opens at Olympia Fields a couple years before the real U.S. Opens there. So I'm about 10, 12 years old at the time. My dad wants to take me to see his heroes, who he watched growing up. They're all out there, Nicholas. And it's a practice round on a Tuesday. And it's Arnold Palmer in the back, and no one's really following him. And he's just hitting drivers straight right, straight right, straight right, out in the
Which
rough.
hole?
Out there, well, they flip their nines, but if you're going down Vollmer, you have that. I think when you played, it's the third hole, maybe it's down the hill, back up to the green.
Yeah.
So it's the next hole after that.
Oh, the
You're-
tight one.
You're heading back south.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's just blocking them right, blocking them right, blocking them right.
Into the fifth fairway. Or would that be into five?
Yeah,
Right?
it was over there. There was like some rough over
Yeah.
there. So he comes walking down there, and my dad's like, "Hey, help him find all these balls." He had like 5, 6 balls over there. I'm like, "Okay." So, and they're storming. Caddy picks up the rope. They're just going back to the clubhouse now. He's done practicing. Like I said, it's Tuesday afternoon. There's hardly anybody out there. So I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Palmer, here you go. Get away from me!" And kind of gives me the old stiff arm. True story. And my dad's like, "What the? This is my hero. This is my son was being my hero. I thought this was our big moment. He's gonna get one of these Arnold Palmer stories."
Yeah.
I am not kidding you. We walked the course because we've never been on Olympia Fields before, even though we grew up in the area. We lived in the area, and so it was great just to see that course too. Back, it is like straight out of Tin Cup. He is David Sims. There's a TV camera on him. He's in front of everybody, hugging people, kissing people, signing everything. And my dad, from there, I was like, I guess I'm a Jack Nicklaus guy now. He was so
I'm done with you.
gutted.
No
And
wonder why he hates him.
I
Yeah.
will swear on everything. That is a true story.
It all makes sense why he doesn't like that drink. All makes sense.
Because iced tea is overrated.
I'm not a big iced tea fan.
But, so yeah, Arnold Palmer Invitational, just for if you're keeping track, I had Rory, $195,000 on there, and Joel Kistner made a nice comeback on the weekend to overtake your brother. So we're going to add those totals up. Hovland, he did kind of peter out on the weekend and kind of cost you.
I thought I was gonna try to get back in a little bit, but I'd have been better off taking Ricky Flower. I mean, my goodness, they ended up finishing close together, right?
Yeah, but
So what's that put your totals after 2 weeks up to?
we're going to add those up. It's
We'll save that for
I'm
another
getting
day.
close to $500,000 right now. Just want to put it out there. And but hey, nobody had as bad a weekend as Gomez, right? We put that out on our social
yeah.
media. Thumbs up, angry face, and we got some feedback. And the more and more you guys get involved with this, the more fun it's going to be because it is for you average goats. We have our new logo on the table today, and that's actually from one of our buddies that is liking the show. He carved that. We love it. It's going to be a staple here. It's going to be on the table every week. So thank you for making that for us. But the whole Gomez thing, what a chump. I voted chump. I don't know what you guys voted, but
I voted I could beat him.
yes, it was a 92. Well, no, it was a WD because he wouldn't sign for a 92.
Yeah, so
Why
technically-
even finish then?
I don't know.
So if you run that tournament, because he gets the plane because he won
No,
it.
they changed
Yeah.
that rule this year.
They did?
You didn't see that?
No, so he's done?
So he's done. They said past champions will not.
Oh, it's over, huh?
Yeah, this was the last year that past champions for I don't know how many years will not get an invite back.
Probably closer to like the PGA stipulations.
And
or
I
the
think that's
Open.
why he basically stormed off.
Talk about taking your ball, going home, and crying.
Yeah.
Unbelievable for a professional golfer.
Because he, of course, was then turned around and said in the article that he didn't agree with it, that Mr. Palmer would be rolling over in his grave because they came out with this new ruling for the tournament and stuff. So, but yeah.
Does he really think a guy is shooting 92 because he holed out from the fairway one time
he
should
has-
get a chance over a
He
young
hasn't
guy?
made the cut there since like 2008.
Yeah,
Does he play in any other tournaments?
No,
but it's Mr.
He's on
Palmer
the-
rolling over in his grave.
he's on the
Yeah,
senior
exactly.
tour, I
Yeah.
think, but I don't know.
I don't know. guy lives by a code, and that guy to me has no code. I don't get it. But so we're switching gears now, and
Players Championship, baby.
big weekend. Love this weekend. There's that new background music we're still testing out. I'm liking it.
Just
I don't
getting
know-
it in there.
I don't know why you guys vote no on it. The old Wayne's World. Shaw.
Party on, Wayne.
But yeah, Players Championship down at TPC Sawgrass. Everybody always talks about the Island Green. Michael, Island Green, what are you hitting?
What are we talking? 137 yards there.
Yeah, give or take, they move the tees, move the flag, and
Obviously wind dependent, but at 137, I'm probably more comfortable hitting a 3/4 or a choked 9. Pitching wedge for me, I'm afraid I'd fan it a little bit or get up and wind knock it down, not get there. Or sometimes going after that pitching wedge, I have a tendency to kind of get over the top and have a little high draw that might miss the green left. So I'd probably go 3/4 choke 9.
3/4 choke 9 over the top, yanking it left and being on the walk-up bridge
No,
like
no.
we saw.
I have the 3/4 swing in the bag.
Okay,
So.
nice. Joel?
We have never played there, Michael or I, so I think I would probably go with a pitching wedge and probably hit it too high and probably come back at me and end up in the water.
I got a feeling you'd hit that pitching wedge, fan hits it, catches the wood down in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I have a feeling if I tried
blank.
to pull a 9, I'd probably, average goat type of thing. I'd probably hit it way too hard because I'd be trying to go way too aggressive at it instead of
Yeah, you got that Ronnie Kerher downswing. It's violent. You
Just-
can't throttle back on anything.
no, just trying to smoke a pitching wedge up there and
Got to get your
hope it
feels.
works out.
Got to have your feels.
Well, that would be the 16th hole, so I might have a little bit of feel by then. Happy?
16th
You've played
hole,
there.
You'd be birdieing it.
Yep, for sure.
sure.
Or 17, I mean. So
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I've been there twice. I've played both courses once, is what we did. But like I said last week, we were there when Tiger did his little speech. So average goat stuff, extremely hungover. The morning we're going to play Sawgrass because, like an idiot, that's how serious I was. So the only thing I could get
My kind of guy.
was it was called the Pounder. It was a pound of animal crackers. That's how hungover I was. We had no time for a breakfast sandwich, nothing.
breakfast burrito.
So the guy's like, hey, don't leave any food in your cart. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, we got these raccoons, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's in the middle of the day. And sure as shit,
Really?
we're walking off the 4th green, and there goes this like 20-pound raccoon in the middle of the day stealing the pounder of animal crackers everywhere and just dragging the bag.
Steal one of your beers too?
No, he did not. Thank God. Whew, they were already gone by the 4th hole. But yeah, no, the course is awesome. You want to talk about?
Best kept course probably.
I mean, it's
Condition-wise.
It was well kept, but it was just the way it. There's no easy shot. No. You're constantly, doing it. Now we played it before they redid that one drivable hole. It's like on a hole like that they were driving or can drive. I think it's like 12 or 13.
13.
It was driver sandwich for us, and we did. The guy I play with when we go to these things, he always wants to play it back, which is fun to me too, because when you watch it on TV, you want to kind of
Live those
see how you live.
experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple of courses I've played, and they're on TV. I'll be like, John Daly made an 11. I made a 5. Can't even beat me, man. But yeah, no, it's a pretty cool place. I hit punch 9-iron. We were in a little bit of a breeze. It was like 140. I just hit a little choke now 9-iron and did pretty good on the 17th. But you guys ready to feel old?
Sure.
This week at the Players Championship. Better than most. Better than most. How about in
20 years old.
20-year anniversary of Better Than Most? I feel like I was just watching that maybe, 10 years ago? Maybe at the most? Oh, pun intended. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. One of the greatest putts I've ever seen in my life. I can visualize it in my head.
I can't say.
Pretty cool stuff. But
The more impressive, or more, the iron shot that he hit on that hole to hit it to 30, 40, 50 feet. It was a bad golf shot. It almost went in the water.
it almost went in the water. It should have
Yeah.
went in the water almost and kind of hung up there.
Because I think there was 2 shots prior to, or 1 shot prior to that in his grouping that hit that same spot and shot off into the back of the water.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 years, that's a long time. And my, how how often do we say that or love hearing that replayed over and over again, you know?
Like I said, we're closer to the senior tour than we are the collegiate tour, I think.
Yeah.
But so obviously Bryson's hot now. Everybody's gonna be talking about Bryson DeChambeau. They're already doing local rules. You can't hit it over here on 18 and all sorts of stuff like that. Dustin Johnson's another name a lot of people are talking about.
He says he's got the driver figured out. So
He's got it figured out, ready to go.
Figured out.
Well,
Okay.
that Bryson rule, I'm sure you guys looked into it or talked a little bit about it, but the 16-year-old last summer is the one that
Did
hit
it.
it over there,
Yep.
the big bomber. I forget his name, but that's why they're instituting it for this tournament. But it's quite a route to go over that and have a nice, easy look across the water coming in.
I just I don't think you're gaining enough to do it.
You could
I don't-
still have a bunch of mistakes that end up happening. You can still hit it in the water.
What's that
There was
carry
a-
over
there
there?
was a tree over
Two
there
of them.
that you
There's one dead that's
yeah.
trimmed up, and then another tree that's living.
What's
and you
the
may not
carry
end up
over
in the
there?
fairway. You may probably end up in the rough. I don't know what the carry was. Probably
Yeah,
like
because where
three-
they want to play with the angle, they're gonna be in the rough. They're not playing it to 9 fairway.
No, I think it was
Yeah.
like a 310, 320 carry.
Hmm.
Somewhere in the vicinity.
And it's a nice angle from over there versus the fairway with the water left, especially when you're coming down.
But I
Saturday,
think
Sunday.
I think you can still hit an iron off that tee and still have like what 170, 180 in.
Oh, it plays longer than that.
Longer
doesn't
than that, but
Got it
see,
right
to me,
here.
this is the mad scientist thing about Bryson. This is where it kind of takes it a little too far. You're not actually even playing the hole.
How it was intended to be played.
Correct. Not
Agree.
even close to it. So,
Agree.
and I don't want the PGA Tour to have to start, doing in course out of bounds in every hole because of this. But
Well, they did that at the Sony as well.
right,
462
Total.
18 plays. That's how far holes 18 plays. 462.
Yeah, so you can hit an iron 250 yards, 260 yards off the tee and have again.
oh, can you?
Yeah. This show is called Average Goats.
Wow,
You know
all
that,
right,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
It'd
we're on
just be a
different
little.
So
level
I
here.
muscled up on my driver.
Yeah.
I mean, I get this thing square in the head.
typically
Hit a
crosswind or wind in
sprinkler
the
head.
face there.
It rolls out to 280.
Yeah.
That's how I got
I mean,
there.
I have seen recently in the last three or 4 years where a lot more players have gotten more aggressive off that 18th tee with driver compared to hitting irons like they did.
I think most of them are. I don't see too many irons on it. Some, but aren't most of them are taking. If they're not hitting driver, they're going to that
Hybrid
3
or
metal,
3-wood.
5 wood, hitting a hard draw at the
Hard draw.
trees.
And that's what they
I
should be
mean,
doing. Their
Yeah.
fairways roll out better than most of our greens.
Yeah.
It's just a 273 wood. That's all it is.
Now, average goat wise, I think people should try to play a tour venue more and get on some firm fairways because I do believe
Oh, it's huge.
some of their numbers are a little inflated.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you get that 30, 40, there was
We get no roll in.
a Jordan Spieth shot. He got like 49 yards a roll the one day. Was that Saturday? I think on the coverage, it was insane. So
Yeah.
if I was getting that, maybe I wouldn't.
And some things that also gets forgot about sometimes is wind. There was a whole
They're playing in a lot of wind.
last week that Bryson hit that wasn't really talked about when he hit a monster drive, and it was severely downwind. So that helps the golf ball a lot too.
So looking into the tournament here, like I said, it's one of my favorite ones. I put it right up there with the majors personally. I know they go back to the
Fifth
same
major.
course every year. Yeah, the 5th major, right? I do like them. I do like it better than the WGC events.
Yeah,
I
I
think
would
it's-
agree. I like this event
It's
a lot.
usually with the toughest field, one of the bigger purses. So it should be very, very good to watch this week. But first off, we'll start with you, Michael. Who are you kind of liking this week? Couple names, and then maybe a pick you want to throw out there.
Man, I was looking through the tee times prior to the show, and this is a tough week just because
There's a lot of players in
there
there.
a lot of guys in the field, and you just nobody's really off the charts. A favorite, I would say. The big names I think are going to be in contention, but if you look at the guys that aren't what I would say the big names in the top 20, it's like, man, could any of these guys really jump up here this week? That's who I was trying to figure out. So, what I would like to see is Ricky Fowler bounce back this week and have a good week, just because for his own personal game. I think JT needs to bounce back too and get his head back in the game. So my two that I narrowed it down to was DJ and JT, and I'm a bigger DJ fan out of those two, so I'm going to go DJ.
Okay.
Geez, just picking the two top.
I
two,
need
two
to try
guys that are in
to
the
get
top
back.
5 in the
Yeah.
world.
I need to try to
Well,
get back.
He's
So
got to go chalk.
I got to pick up somebody.
He's not even trying to play it off. I appreciate that, Michael.
Jeez.
I'm gonna have to go with the best player in the world. For
Well,
this
I
tournament.
for one, I'm trying to get back on
What
our
if Dustin,
board.
Hey,
So
okay, seriously though, if Dustin Johnson misses the cut
oh,
from now on, it's Michael the Cooler.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no longer Zonder. It's Michael.
Well, last year this event was the first event that got canceled, right?
Yeah.
Because of coronavirus.
Well,
and after round 1, Hideki
yeah.
shot like a 60 course
63,
tied course
62,
record.
something- yeah,
Was he
insane.
ahead by quite a bit too? I can't remember.
I don't know if everybody finished because I think it was that second wave it teed off, and that's when the rumblings were coming in that they were gonna
Cancel.
pull everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm not going to pick Hideki, but I just thought that was interesting that Hideki shot 63 and was leading after day 1. I'm going to pick. I'm gonna continue his great play last week to this week, and hopefully it works out. I'm gonna go with Lee Westwood for my definite pick. Somebody who I'd like to see play well would be probably Louis.
Yeah, Louis played well lately. He's been consistent. What's Pappy? What are you thinking this week?
I'm kind of I'm kind of off the board. I'm kind of looking at some guys that we haven't really heard from that
Lucas
have done well
Glover?
here. No, that have done well here. Webb Simpson, I kind of like. I'm liking Adam Scott.
Adam's a guy that I looked at too earlier today.
This is about the time of the year where he starts to heat up before he goes down Magnolia Lane, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking him a lot right now.
I like this. I don't know if Pepe, are you on Instagram or no?
No,
I like this.
Instagram?
I like
I'm
this.
I'm an Exchangeogram.
Oh yeah, that's right. AOL.
You've got mail.
This week, Titleist has been doing a bunch of what's in the bag with all their tour rep ambassadors and stuff. So I've seen Adam Scott had one, which I thought was pretty cool, and then Jordan Spieth did one as well. And they're just going through the bag and talk. Jordan's got a new set of wedges in the bag this week that he's testing out to see if he's going to put in play.
Did you put him in vinegar?
Yeah, I doubt that he went the vinegar route. I doubt it.
Probably just pure raw.
Yeah.
I'd like to get on that tour van, high on vinegar. and
That's
stuff.
speaking
Buckets
of
of vinegar everywhere.
speaking of what's in the bag, that's something I always check out every week
Oh,
after they win. Right? What are they hitting? What's in the bag? I would like to. We should do a post on our social media. I want to hear what our average goat people around here are. What they got in the bag? You know?
Okay, I just got to warn you though. I was working in this pro shop once, and this guy comes and gets a lesson. And it's been in my garage for 15 years. I'm retiring. I'm playing more golf. Okay, and we're like, okay. So he buys a whole new set of clubs, and he's got this bag. He's like, I'm gonna use the bag though. No, you're not, dude. It's old brown leather thing. We emptied it out. There was a literal bird's nest. This dude went to a lesson with a bird's nest in the bottom of his bag.
Wow.
He's emptying out in the middle of this pro shop. It was hysterical.
Don't know how that got in there.
Yeah.
Somebody at the club has an old Marlboro tour bag.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I think we should do that. I want to hear what everybody else at our local clubs has in the bag.
I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
When you're out there snapping pictures while you're out playing golf, we had one of our guys, one of our followers, sent a picture from us. They were at Indian Ridge playing. What was it? Kyle Bonta. Thank you very much for that. That was
great.
good.
That was cool.
Appreciate that.
Guys, the more and more we get to that, the more and more we can talk about it and make this a little bit more fun for everybody. Colin Morikawa is another name I'm thinking of for this weekend. Cam Smith, is the mullet
Yeah.
looking good? I don't know. But I kind of circled back to two names, and it's Justin Thomas and Tony Finau, and I just can't pick one or the other. What do you guys think is? Tony
Jaime
Finau-
Diaz is really big on Finau right now.
So here's the question about Finau. Finau
Can't finish.
can't finish, and then you're always on Ricky Fowler. Ricky Fowler, not Flower.
That's what they call him on his tee time. They announced him last week.
Yeah, that was hysterical. But the more and more this goes on with Ricky, does this become a fluke? The players that he won, maybe he just birdied. Did he get hot at the right time? It was stretching as a fluke. I hate to say fluke for winning a tournament of this caliber, but is that what happened?
Was he?
He can hit really good wedge on the 17th hole. So
Who
that's
was
why
he
here's
playing?
Tiger better than most, by the
Who
way.
was he playing
Yeah.
against that year?
Crank the sound. We'll have to overlay the sound when we do this.
Who was Ricky playing against that year that it was tight?
In the
Did they go into a
playoff.
playoff? Right?
Yeah,
Was
they
it
went to
Sergio?
They went into a playoff.
Was it Sergio?
I think so.
I
Yeah.
I think it was
If we
Sergio.
were on the Golf Channel, we'd know this shit. Right?
So who the hell are you picking?
He's got to decide between JT and.
I thought, to give you guys a chance to get back on this leaderboard with me,
I
making
think
all this
JT
money.
is going to have. a good week.
go with Russell Henley.
I thought I'd go with an average goat. I got a couple average goat names. I got Adam
Well,
Long.
then go with Hovland.
Is that an average goat, Adam Long? What about Robbie Shelton? I saw that name, and
That's an average
that's an
goat
average
one.
goat. He's teeing it up at TPC this weekend.
Tom Hoagie had a 3-putt on his last hole last week to miss the cut.
I like.
I'd go with him.
Maybe I'm going to take average goat Harry Higgs this week at the Players Championship.
Then he did that one.
Harry Higgs.
He did the Instagram.
He had a nice interview today, but he
did.
do the
I don't know who sang this.
cranberry
Yeah,
juice.
cranberry juice.
Yeah, that we tried replicating last summer.
We'll post it.
Yeah,
Did
we'll
it
share
go?
it.
Okay.
No, I took too big of a drink of cranberry juice.
Started
joking.
It's pretty comical.
I'm.
So you're going with JT then? Am I correct in this
Yeah, I'm
assumption?
going Justin Thomas. He's
Okay.
going to win it.
Because I knew you weren't going to go with any of the average goats.
For the record, that
You saying I won't go with Harry Higgs?
I'm just saying he's not going to make the cut.
Higgs was on Golf Channel getting interviewed today, and
I watched it.
if this tells you anything about his game right now, the biggest things they talked to him about was
His
his
buttons.
shirt being
His buttons.
unbuttoned and
He says you
the
might.
cranberry video.
He says, what did he say about one button? It's going okay. I won't go down too low because this is a family friendly show.
Yeah.
And
But
then
he
if
gets
they're,
fired
if they're
up.
all done, he gets fired up. He'll rip it off and go all the buttons undone.
But
I hate
anyway,
that guy in the group that's sitting in the patio with all his buttons undone and his chest hairs out.
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
putting
Hell
up the
yeah.
vibe. I'm like, dude, it's a bunch of dudes. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a star by a pick for me, just as a side note, not for the
he's
contest.
going to try to pick your guy real quick.
I'm gonna go with Scotty Scheffler too. I think he might. Again.
Yeah.
I didn't pick him.
No, someone did. a couple
Michael
weeks
picked
ago.
Schauffele.
Oh, that's right.
Awfully, yeah.
Same
Remember,
person.
he tried to turn
Have you ever
it.
seen both of them in the same room at the same time? No, no one has. It's the same person.
I'd like to clarify one thing. In that playoff victory for Fowler, it was Kisner and Sergio in the playoff.
Yeah, but Kisner
Kisner.
bounced right away.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah.
Get
Last
in the
week's
water.
average goats, Jim Herman and Mackenzie Hughes, they did not make the cut. They were
They
at
didn't.
at the local Top Golf. It
Those
bombs.
were invites to the Masters, right? That we were
Right.
shocked with. And Herman did win the Wyndham last year. That's why he got the invite.
There you go.
To the Masters.
Yep.
Some real quick. You guys want some GCSA facts for this week from the superintendent?
Let's hear it about the course.
So the course is.
green step meter. Let's go.
Oh, that thing is.
14.
I'm gonna tell you by Sunday it might be.
They
It
better
might
not
be.
crank. Let's keep them quick, man.
It's the.
You
It's
got to dial it in here, right?
No, it's the Players Championship held on by the players for the players. They'll have it the exact way that the players want it, not the way it should be to be.
So they'll roll it back to
Tough.
12.
Who knows? No, this one they're usually pretty good because these greens are bigger in the different plateaus and like quadrants. There's enough room around them. But so it's par 36, par 36 for 72. It's going to play 7,189 yards. Course was obviously, everybody probably knows, designed by the Pete Dye, the godfather of American golf architecture. Jeff Plotz is the director of golf course operations. You guys ready for this setup? He's got one assistant director, one course superintendent, one PGA Tour agronomist, one equipment manager, a staff of 115,
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Here he goes again.
a staff of 115. Now that is for two courses, but a staff of 115 for this week, all on one course.
Big number.
Here he goes
And
again.
100 volunteers.
Wow.
See, that's all we need at the youth. We just need more
225
volunteers.
people.
Like a
folks.
1 week of 225 people, right?
Yeah.
To
All,
take-
3
to
days.
Take care of 18 holes. the
all
driving range.
members, please
Yeah.
come out.
3 days.
88 bunkers, 17 water hazards that come and play on 17 holes. That's a staff. That's an army to take care of it for sure.
How many holes does the water come into play?
7 out of 17 of the holes, yep.
Not a big water fee.
No,
No.
some of it's not really into play. I think they kind of do it, but
For the stats, you mean? You think we kind of say it's in play?
well, the other course, the Dive Valley course, they say there's water in every hole. And
Well, like-
the one hole, you're on the tee box, and it's like a puddle in front of the tee box.
Like hole one. That
Right.
water's not really in play, right? 'Cause
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Maybe for average goats.
Well,
For
that's
us.
who the show is.
I know, for us, but I'm saying
Again,
for
you're
the
going back to your 273, but I swear to God,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to throw something at you. But
I swear, every year Tiger played in the Players, he would always snap hook it left off of one tee into those freaking trees and have to punch
well,
out.
that's another thing the PGA Tour does that I just don't really agree with. They give you a yardage where it's tipped out.
Right.
Well, how often do you see them on the back of a tee box? You've
Never.
played some of these places, and that's where the plate is. This hole's 488-yard par 4. And granted, that plate's on the back of that tee, but they're never back there,
No.
and they're definitely not back there every day. So they're never playing at this full yardage.
No.
Right. And it seems like a lot of the par threes are the ones that stretch out or get pretty long. Some of the par fours, they shorten them up for these guys, I think anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the real hole. So you were talking about the
Hole
first
8 is a tough par 3. That's a long par 3.
Yeah, but hole 2 is the hole they have to take advantage of here. It's a pretty easy par 5.
Yes.
Yeah, 532 yards.
And
Nothing really off the tee, right? And then it meanders back, and there's water straight and entire.
some like trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the way they hit it, they probably have to worry about the water.
I think they hit irons off.
Little
it.
Yeah,
squeeze
you don't
squeeze
have to.
fade, as Overholzer would say on your second shot there. Little squeeze fade.
I won't say what I call it.
What do you call it?
I can't say.
Oh, okay.
Why?
No.
Buttercut?
Squeeze fade? No. Slap?
Oh, slap dick fade?
Yeah, slap their face.
You can't
I'm,
say it.
I'm pretty sure when you post this, you click this is not kid friendly. So
I do.
Just to wrap up what we were talking about last week, we had a good conversation with wedges. And I just wanted to show everybody, we posted a video last night, and here's one of the wedges that we gave a vinegar bath to last week. And just initially, we're going to do some updates on this the next couple episodes, and as we get into the season, we're actually able to use them. First initial thought when they came out, they sat in vinegar for 17 hours. I can definitely feel a difference on the face of the material from when they came out of the wrapper, and
Yeah.
like when you touch a new wedge. So, real quick, Joel, question.
I,
What were you gonna say? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we
Did
used.
it right?
I don't think we had the combination right. I think we probably should have did all vinegar. We did a little bit of a water and vinegar combo.
diluted vinegar.
Yeah, so it wasn't as.
Well, we did do that. It was 3 cups water, 3 cups vinegar.
Yeah. I recommend that the next time we do it, we use Coca-Cola.
We'll do it with your wedges.
They just came today.
Oh, perfect.
But mine are
we
already.
have the vinegar ones, and we can do the Coca-Cola ones.
We've got plenty of wedges lying around.
But
here.
mine are
We'll
mine
take
are
some.
already raw.
Oh, okay.
I ordered the raw finish, so they'll rust automatically. So
I gotcha. All right. Well, this week we said we wanted to talk a little bit about the distance report that came out from the USGA and the RNA, and kind of go overall. They kind of said that they're going to look into it some more. That spending the $2 million that they spent on this report wasn't enough, so they need to do some more research. But I think there was kind of they kind of put it out there like a soft leak. They wanted to put it out there that they're kind of maybe kicking around the idea of rolling back equipment.
I'd say they put it out there pretty soft, but
Yeah.
PGA Tour players didn't really accept it all that
No, they definitely.
positively.
Well, I saw the Golf Channel talking a little bit earlier about this, and the one person that I was interested, not that I'm a big Bryson fan, but I was interested to see how he responded to this, since he's been after this whole distance game the last, year and a half, 2 years,
He said-
beefing up, going longer equipment, swinging harder, changing his swing and stuff. And it sounded like
He was for it.
He is for it, and his reasoning makes sense, and it's
He'd
because
still be just as far ahead.
yeah, proportionately, he's going to be still further ahead with his equipment, swing changes, and his strength that he's gained. So that makes a lot of sense. I personally am not a fan of the tour having separate rules and what the amateurs have. One consistent set of rules is.
I think that's what makes golf so unique. It's
Yeah.
the same set of rules for everyone.
I mean, here we are, average goats that love golf. We watch the tour guys. We don't want to watch them play by a different set of circumstances. We want to try to do what they do, right?
Or with the same equipment.
Or with the same equipment. And they're, talking about just one item that I saw was, they've already talked about changing the golf ball so that it's, doesn't fly as far and different things. But, clubs, maybe limiting clubs or altering clubs and different things. And I don't know if that was necessarily just going to that 46-inch rule or saying local rule is you can't hit a driver today or local rule is you can't hit this today, and it's just like, that doesn't interest me. How can that be good for the game of golf?
Well, exactly. I don't think it would be good for the game of golf. And I think once you start doing that, where's the end game then? Once you open up that Pandora's box,
Yeah.
as they say, where will it stop? And I don't like the idea. I'm with you guys. I think I play a sport, and we kind of get to, kiddingly be like, oh, yeah, I'm hitting the same shots as them, or I'm hitting the same club as them, or we're very lucky. I kind of touched on this last week. I'm a football player my whole life. I'm not going to have a chance to go play at Soldiers Field.
Right.
I'm not going to have a chance to go play in Dallas Stadium. You know what? If I wanted to pony up the money, I can go play Cog Hill where the pros play. Oh, wait, no. PGA Tour doesn't allow tour events in Chicago anymore. Sorry about that. Third biggest market, but we can't have a tournament every year. But I can go play Sawgrass.
Yeah.
I can go play, you know what I mean? Like, you can go and play these places. I can go play TPC Scottsdale and, kind of put myself in that setting of the grandstand around the hole. I can go play Whistling Straits.
Yeah.
Erin Hills.
And we,
Pebble Beach.
around the distance stuff, we know that all clubs have your big knockers, right? Everybody knows that. And I would say at the golf courses that we're playing, it probably helps, but it's not, the biggest advantage in the world. But that's why we have different tee stations. That's why the pros can go and they can tip it out if they wanted to. And like you said, not that they play all that, but 75, 76, 7,700 yards, that's not necessary at most of our golf courses that us average goats are playing. We don't need that kind of length. That's exhausting, hitting a 4-iron in every green.
I get really excited on hole 12 when it gets nice and firm up on the top of the hill, and you can hit a real little scooter down there to about
have
60
a flip
yards.
wedge in that you chunk.
Go from-
Yeah, that's perfect.
Go from 170 out to 120.
Yeah, speaking of grinds, you can just bury that right into the turf. But seriously,
some of
that's
those people that like to take what we call them diggers,
yeah.
they were out on the course this weekend.
Oh, I bet they were.
Holy bleep!
Huh.
There
Oh,
were some
Spend some
chunks
time out there, Joel.
Well, no. On hole,
The guy was just swinging the new Callaway sod cutter out on
Yeah,
16.
apparently.
It was unreal.
I saw some spots out there, like on hole 12. There's some nice stretches of turf that were gone, but I don't know if it was because of that or if it was because of airification.
I know
or
people were getting the itch to get out there. I, for
defense
one,
and-
No, I'm talking about actual divots.
No, I know it was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
There were some divots out
We
there.
also
I was
put
like,
a text out there that said, "Hey, repair your ball marks on the greens." And
nice.
I for
was-
one
it
would
was-
have been
we're gonna
okay.
we're gonna do a ball mark fixing
agree.
Tutorial or
seminar on this
class.
show.
I don't
On this
disagree.
show.
Oh yeah.
I fully agree.
I like it.
It was
We could
pretty bad.
Cut out a piece in here and hit it.
Yeah.
So if the PGA Tour really wants to, they're worried about this distance thing, then why don't they, do a tournament? They'll do a tournament where they'll do a Stableford system, or they do a tournament where it's teammates. They do that once a year.
Do like rolled back equipment.
Once a year, do a Hickory tournament for the pros.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fantastic.
You can do like the one you sent me. You can go rent
You can
however
have-
many sets.
Yeah, if you want to do an event, they'll send you Hickory
Yeah.
sets, and you can with the limited balls.
The
from
balls
back in
too.
the day.
Yeah.
Balls. You're so
Balls.
excited to say that.
Yeah. Those your skis?
See why?
Both
See
of
why
them?
Michael sits on the other side now. Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not a fan of rolling it back or changing the rules. This is every era has had the big bomber.
Yeah.
Nicklaus was the best because Nicklaus. Everybody from his age says Nicklaus hit it far.
Yeah.
I can remember him at the 15th hole in '86 when he makes the big comeback in the Masters.
And-
He's hitting driver 5-iron, driver 6-iron on that hole.
And I think that with the length on the Bryson side of things, it's probably way too early in the game. It's not like the guy's winning every single event.
No. And like Joel said earlier, his short game is
his
lacking.
short game
His
is
short
terrible.
game's
I mean,
lacking.
it's not
So
very
on,
good.
on courses like last week where you can get those 4 or 5 holes where that's a significant advantage, that's probably going to help him more. But they play golf courses where that,
He's not gonna go play at Harbor.
him spraying it is going to be, a bigger problem for one. So I just don't think that's
Well,
why
they
we
were
should be so concerned with.
Well, they were saying at Bay Hill last week, Tigers won it, 8 times or something like that?
Well, yeah, Tiger was hitting it further than everybody. and Look, he was winning.
But Rory was saying that he kind of took an adage out of Tiger's book for last week in that, he didn't hit driver or hit it long everywhere. He tried to, think his way around the golf course and how it was actually intended to be played versus trying to bomb it and gouge it and make a putt.
Yeah, we'll see with the Bryson thing and the distance thing if the other thing, the muscle gains that he's had is violently his swinging. Will his body hold up? And that could be a deterrent to his own seeking of the long ball.
His body might hang in there a little bit better than others previously to him because his big celebration was milkshake and gummies.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure
Not
how
those
he.
gummies, like
not-
just a bag of gummy bears and a milkshake.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
Average
he's
goat.
not making a trip to the Porta John every 3 holes as many protein shakes as he's. I mean, just
Right?
shitting like
Just
crazy. You know?
gurgling.
I mean, that's got to be tough.
Average goat.
He
You-
drinks
you
like
win
17
your club
protein shakes a
championship. You win
day.
your club championship. Are you going to Shoops for for a milkshake?
For a pappy?
Milkshake and
You go-
For a pappy?
milkshake and a pappy.
Yeah, right. I'd like a pappy on my hot dog. What? Yeah, the mustard ketchup. I am. I'm going to bottle that up and sell that. Mark it down. It's my next genius idea. But no, you're at your 19th hole and you're celebrating with your buddies. Just the whole milkshake, and I read that and I was
yeah,
just like, wow.
we celebrate quite differently than Bryson DeChambeau does.
And good for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any demons yet, I guess. But yeah, okay. So we're all against the distance report because
Yes.
this week showed it perfectly. Grow the rough up.
Yeah.
And that's where Bryson, he wasn't in the fairway, but then again, he's stronger than a lot of those guys, so he's able to hit it out
Muscle it out.
and get it to land softer on the greens and stuff like that. So you can change it all you want, but like he's laughing at him. I'll still be the longest.
Yeah.
I'll still have the advantage. You're not going to negate this strength advantage.
I think
And
this.
same when Tiger came out. Everybody started working out all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of Zach Johnson hitting at 275 off the tee, he's now going to be hitting at 240.
Correct. And
Let's-
Bryson will be at 290.
Yeah.
Let's see how Bryson does this week because Bay Hill, even though the rough was longer and stuff, there's still some areas to miss on certain holes. On those shots, he's trying to hit that real long hard drive. He can blow it right big time. At TPC, there's not as many areas to do that
Well, that's what
along
they're-
some of those fairways. It gets a little tight in there.
The other part they were talking about, besides 18, him taking it left to the pond or whatever, was hole 4. Him driving it over the water on hole 4, is what they were talking about.
I don't know. That green is right on that water. What is the point in that one?
The rest of it around the green is rough.
Yeah,
rough and
it's-
bunkers.
bunker.
Right?
It's definitely hill.
Yeah.
The back of that green is built up on the
Undulated,
hill,
yeah.
so I don't get it. I love that hole because I just think of Hal Sutton. When I did play there, I did it. I didn't even care where my shot was going. I did
Brought her
be
back.
the right club today, or no, better. What did he say?
Be the right club
yeah,
today.
that's what I did. It was crazy, but. So as we get ready, where we're at here in Northwest Indiana, the weather is like we were saying earlier. 48 now it's 70s. It doesn't look like it's gonna. I mean, it's gonna go back in the high 40s for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then we're right back in the 50s and 60s. So the golf season's here, and I know we've talked about equipment before, but what are 7 things non-club related that you feel? It doesn't even have to be 7 things, but what are some things that you feel like you have in the bag that other guys, if they don't, or gals, they should have in the bag, ready to go to kick off the 2021 golf season?
Go ahead, Joe.
I feel like I was playing Sunday with Sherman, a guy from our club, and he and I were talking because a couple of our bunkers right now have some water, have some melted snow in them still, because the drains are still a little froze. But he and I were talking because I have a personal golf cart that I drive back and forth to the club, and my ball retriever is actually in
the
my
back of the cart?
back of my cart, so it's not in my bag.
So ball retriever is the first thing you're
Ball
going with.
retriever is the first thing
How
that
about
I'm
that?
going with,
Scratch.
but our
Illegal.
Scratch golfer with the
but
ball
our
retriever.
but our people will associate those
You
things.
taking that to that qualifier you're playing in?
Oh yeah, but people will associate those things with like head covers. Head covers and a ball retriever are kind of like one and the same kind of person. And I don't know.
Matt
I mean,
Kuchar says head
I'm
covers
just-
are for pussies.
but
I can't believe he's been through so many caddies.
Yeah, exactly.
but that's just one thing that I was thinking about.
Okay,
on
well, you
s-
can't
on
have a
Sun-
ball retriever. That's the average goats don't have ball retrievers.
Average goats.
No,
Every average goat has a ball retriever.
absolutely not.
I
That's
think
for
you
like-
gotta
And I
hit a
bet you
certain
it's one of those
age.
old metal ones that
Oh,
has a little
God.
scoop
I
on
think
it.
you got to hit a
This is
certain
nails on a
age.
chalkboard to me.
You got to hit a certain age to be able to carry that.
Yes.
Within finding 5 golf balls, it's paid for itself.
Oh, jeez.
My God, you've actually done the math. This is insane.
Top things to have. I'm probably going with. There's two.
If you
it's
say
not-
ball retriever, I'm jumping out the window.
they're not necessarily in the. They're not necessarily in
You
the
woke up
bag.
Right into the bushes.
They're not necessarily in the bag, but two more like training items that I say
Oh, boy.
that I would go to that help me over onto the golf course. The perfect putt, which I'm not sure if you guys have used or seen that, but we got one here in the office. You're just putting to a smaller circle. If you hit the perfect putt, then the ball stops in that little circle. If it rolls back to you, typically means you made the putt. If you miss it entirely, obviously it's pretty shit. But and then the second one is the hanger device. It has nothing to do with us. I wish it did, but it's a contraption that you put on your club.
It mimics a clothes hanger, is what
Yeah.
the shape is.
Yeah, and it helps keep that left wrist flat or bowed out at the top. So those are two of my things.
Lead tape.
Outside of that, I never have a marker in my bag
No, you
because I
don't.
always bum Joel's.
Okay.
Tees, I'm particular about tees. I don't ever pick up a tee and use it. I always use my own tee.
You mean the free ones?
Yeah, I don't use those. I like the Stinger tees for par threes, and then what do I play? That 3 1/4 inch.
I like
tall
those.
ones, the big
This
boys.
is so average goat. You have different tees for different holes.
I like those. They make the little plastic one.
I
nubs
like
now.
no, I
Oh
don't use the
my.
plastic
Just
tees.
grab a chunk off the ground, guys.
JT style, just hit the turf back and put it down.
No,
Uh,
no, you do not do
Super
that.
says no, don't do
No. JT should have to carry a bag like a satchel of sand and a little cup like they used to do back in the day,
Yeah.
a little shot glass. That's what he should be teeing off. Not doing that.
Yeah. So usually there's plenty of golf balls in the bag.
Couple koozies.
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 Koozies are for sure.
Nice.
Bottle and a can koozie.
Make sure you got the driver wrench for sure.
You can't do that during the round.
Before.
You can tighten it. Bryson tightened it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, before you got to make sure you're dialed in.
I just think average goats would be at the driving range changing their settings, and then they would forget what they started with. And then,
You got to take a picture to remember.
What do you
Right.
What do you got?
I would definitely recommend a laser. I use that thing nonstop, getting yardages, not even to the hole. Like
Just to
where's that
items.
group? I don't want to hit them.
I don't want to bang another one
The
into
beverage
them.
cart
Halfway
is
house,
600 yards
beverage
away.
cart.
Yes,
There she
exactly.
comes.
We got a tea time tomorrow.
Before you leave the clubhouse, you can look at the halfway house. Is the lock still on it? Yes, it is. Okay, we need to load up an extra cooler here real quick. That's one of the main reasons I use it. But rain gear for sure.
Always have rain gear in the
Always
bag,
have a good
especially
set of
this
rain
time of
gear.
year.
Yep.
If it's
And,
raining, I'm not playing.
No.
Depends. If it's raining hard, no.
Yeah, if it's raining.
If-
If it's raining.
If
like a
Pappy's
little
calling us off the golf course,
bit, never happens. But okay.
we've had a torrential. Last year we were spanking somebody in
One
the
or-
league. Remember
one or
that?
two of them.
We were
We've
up
had one,
3
yeah.
through 3 and just got pulled off. And
I was subbing that night. I know what you're talking about.
Was it against you guys?
no, it was not against us.
No?
I know who I was playing. I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
name
remember that
names.
torrential downpour?
And they thought that we wouldn't want to play the last hole because it was raining so hard, and we would just say, let's split it so they would get a half a point. We said, no, let's play it. One guy goes and blades it across the green, blades it across the green. Everybody's in the pavilion watching us. In the pouring rain, we finished this thing. Team I was subbing for took care of me with adult beverages for sure, and then I find out later that it was all wiped out, and I'm like, wait a minute, I was in the rain, I was
Yep.
soaking wet, and we're rewarding these people for being,
Yep.
whatever. That happens. I think got to play it a little tougher, folks. Gotta
Used,
play it a little
used to
tougher.
keep, not anymore since I'm at the Ush, but 10, 11 years now running, but used to keep a bottle of liquor in the bag
birdie bottle?
just in case, yeah.
Birdie
Captain
bottle or
back in the day, then vodka for a little while, just in
just
case.
straight,
Huh?
just straight.
Yeah, you get a little mixer off the beverage cart. and-
Okay, I got you now.
Yeah.
Pouring your own. I like that. Well, next week when we shoot this episode, it will be St. Patrick's Day. So top of the morning to you, lads. We are going to be doing a little bit of a what's your favorite whiskey to drink at the club tasting. We're going to have a couple. I don't know. What do you think? 4 different whiskeys, and we'll get you guys. Yeah, we'll get you guys live reaction. I'm not even going to tell you what they are. I'm just going to pour them.
I'm not
And
a big brown water guy,
We're going to
but I'll
watch your
try
guys'
it.
reaction.
But I'll try it.
Sounds good. I'm gonna bring it from my private collection. I got
Ooh.
some
Oh.
good stuff, and then we'll slip in a Malort to watch your response.
Very nice.
What are you guys' final thought going into this week?
I hope there's a good weekend golf is what I hope for. I hope there's not somebody that's completely running away with the players. I hope the weather maybe is better than what the meteorologist is saying it's supposed to be around here. Maybe get out and play a little bit again. But I hope that there's close competition at the players this week.
Yeah, I hope it's a good tournament as well. I hope my guys DJ wins so I can try to gain some dollars back in our little contest. I have one thought that we were talking before the show, and Pappy had mentioned that he could potentially have the opportunity to fly down and catch a round. So he wasn't sure he wanted to pay the high air freight currently, which I don't blame him. So I was just thinking maybe we should throw out on our page if we can raise
No,
$500.
not doing it.
Pappy's heading down for the one day because he wants to see his boy G Mac.
Yeah, that wouldn't work out good because we could do that every week with the with the superintendent card. One of the privileges is I can sneak into a lot of these tournaments for free 99, and
Free 99.
I don't need this to become some running joke where we're sending me on an airplane every weekend, and the missus is like, "Wait a minute! During the week you're golfing, and on the weekend you're flying to see these tournaments." But
Well,
sure,
we got a
can
guy
do
from
it.
the club that's playing in the Florida Club Championship at Taos in a couple of weeks. Joel, I brought up the bright idea earlier to Joel that maybe we should fly down and play a practice round the day before with him.
Yes.
But the flight prices only worked out if it was the certain days, and those are the same days of the tournament, so it didn't work. But
No can do.
yeah,
Okay, do. All right. Well, I think we're going to be in for a really good tournament this week. I'm looking forward to dusting off some whiskey bottles for next week for you guys to try, and just getting out there. I think the weather's looking better. I think we're going to get some rain here, but I think Friday there's a chance to sneak out Friday afternoon. It's going to be in the 50s again, and again on Sunday I think we're going to be okay and
Nice.
sneaking out. But
yeah. And we're going to put a post about what's in the bag that I really want to see. You know, I'm going to post a picture of what's in my bag. I want guys to post their picture of your clubs. What are you hitting? And you know, maybe what have you added to the bag, or what are you looking at demo day here in the spring? So,
I like it a lot.
yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. I think this was fun as usual, and look forward to seeing some more pictures of guys out playing golf and some more Average Goat stuff. I hope you guys have a great week.